Welcome back to Rappahannock Issues. I'm Tom Cohen. I'm joined here with Jerry Silver. We're here at his beautiful Silver Ridge farm. And we're talking about farming in America and some of the challenges that are facing people. And when we went to break, we were talking about the different element that development has played on and the impact that has on farming. And Stafford has a lot of development. So how does that impact what you're doing?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword in a way. More development brings more people who need food, so it's helped us sell our product a little bit, but it's also made it difficult. It's driven land values up, which means we can't expand really by buying any land to farm, so we're kind of locked in the acreage that we have now. Is pretty much all we're going to ever have. It makes it difficult to move our equipment from one farm to the other. It used to be you knew everybody who lived on the road. They knew you. They knew when they saw your tractor coming to slow down to get off. Now, folks, not so much. And we put a flag truck in front of every vehicle that we're moving, every piece of equipment, and wave flags and flashing lights and try to get people off the road because we can't get out of the road all the way.
Right.
It's made us buy trailers so we can turn the wide equipment sideways to get it down the road. Otherwise, it's just too dangerous. It's made it hard with all the development since we have to go so far to sell our product. If you got to go up 17 or go out Route 3 West, everybody knows what problems that has, and it just adds to the length of the trip and time, that sort of thing. So, but we've met a lot of good people. You know, we get along real well with our neighbors and understand they want to enjoy country living too. So, I think I say it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, but this is where we are. This is the farm we've got. This is where we're going to stay.
Well, the interesting dilemma is that people, as you said, want the country living and they want to be in this situation, but then they keep buying up the farmland. That if some of you were saying some people are getting older and passing away, their family doesn't want to farm it, they sell it, and so now you have a subdivision right next to your farm, and you know, what does that end up having to do to you?
Right. Well, right next door was a 300-acre farm that we had farmed for. We stopping?
Yeah.
Farmed for 15, 20 years. Rented it. The folks, their parents passed away. The daughters weren't interested in farming. They offered to me at what the county had appraised at, but quite honestly, it was $3 million, and I was already farming that land, so I couldn't buy it and add to my income, so it just was economically unfeasible. So it got sold, and now it's built up in the houses. My wife and I were able to buy timber off the back part, the timbered land, which was difficult for the developer to develop that land, at a reduced price. I didn't pay that kind of money for it, but so we were able to save 85 acres, but it's just no way to buy any land in Stafford County that you can farm.
Right.
And it's even difficult to rent it anymore because, you know, pay the rent that what I can afford to pay in rent, these folks should sell the property and just clean up.
Right. And in other counties, I mean, as you know, Northern Virginia keeps creeping down to Richmond, and we saw this up in New England where Boston basically merged into New York City, which is then merged into down towards DC.
Right.
So as the urban areas keep moving southward, it's going to happen to, you know, it happened to Prince William first, and it's happening to us. It's going to go to Spotsy, King George.
Right. Caroline will get it, and we already seen some developments along 95, in Caroline and whatnot. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. You go to Culpeper, and Culpeper has just exploded. Up to Warrenton, just houses everywhere.
Yep. Now, what benefits or what things does, like for example, a county can do? Stafford County does certain things to sort of help farming because it cares about the agricultural aspect.
Definitely. First off, the major thing they've done recently is the PDR program, and we've participated in 2 of those. I think it's a great program. It allows me to get some return from the land and still farm it. And I'm not interested in developing any of this land. None of our family is. So, you know, it allows us to keep the land. Really, it eases the financial burden on us a little bit. County also, I think, is very lenient on the land use tax. It's a great program. The personal property taxes, I don't think, are exorbitant on our farm equipment. And so I kind of consider us to be farm friendly. and it helps us to keep on doing what we're doing, and so and that's what we want to do. We just want to keep on doing what we're doing.
And the PDR program we sort of were big on because you and I served on a committee that sort of started it.
Right.
I mean, Stafford County has an agricultural commission, which I don't think many communities have. Agricultural commissions are sort of encouraging farming and farmers markets and things of that nature. But the PDR, which is the Purchase of Development Right program, is a program where the county gives you money, and then you, in return for it, basically promise not to develop it for perpetuity. And it's a totally voluntary program.
Yes, yes. But it's, you know, it's a great program, but it's also a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about it is that piece of property will never require any services, won't use any energy. It's not going to take our water, lower our water table. You know, it's just a, I think, win-win situation. And I hope the county can continue to get the funds, because I know there are other properties that people would like to put into that program.
And then you're saying that, like, we have rollback taxes and we have other, you know, tax programs that some communities will do. In other states, Maryland has a PDR program, and then there's a TDR program, which is transferring development rights, which is a little bit more difficult. Where they would, you know, say, for example, you were able to get that property next door to you, you would promise never to build on it, and the developer would pay you, and then they take those development rights and stick them on another parcel.
Right.
Which there's always sort of a controversy about.
You need a good lawyer
Yes.
if you're going to do that.
Fortunately, you need a good lawyer for a lot of things.
That's right. That's right.
And then it's sort of interesting you're saying about that they don't tax you on your farm equipment.
Well, it's
Or
not
high.
It's not, you know, it's not terribly it's not exorbitant. Let's put it that way. I think it's certainly reasonable. I mean, it takes a lot of equipment, and equipment is just crazy high. And so I like to say, when I pay the tax bill, it's kind of like paying the electric bill. I'm glad I got it. It might be hurt a little bit, but I can't do without it. So.
Cool. And then we're going to come back after the break. We're going to talk about some of the technology and new developments and some of this equipment that sort of changed farming in different ways. So we hope you will come back after the break as we continue talking about farming in America, and particularly in Virginia. And come back after the break, and you'll grow a little knowledge.